Good morning. Hey everyone, it is Monday. I am getting ready to go to the grocery store, and I thought maybe I would do a what I eat in a day / groceries that get me through the week sort of video. Today I got up at 4 a.m. I'm a little tired. It's kind of set in a little bit. I was feeling very energized. I got up with my husband this morning and he wants me to start going early with him, so he's more motivated to go. So I agreed. It's good for me. I feel like I'm way more productive when I get up early and go to the gym, which I haven't done, or get up early and exercise, but I haven't gone to the gym. It's been like a couple years maybe. I don't know. It's been too long to remember. I am gonna go to the grocery store. I've already had my celery juice, so I'm feeling a little bit more motivated to go ahead and get to the store because I need to get stuff for my green juice. I am out of lemons, and I have a hard time making a green juice without lemon. I think it just adds so much to it. I like the tartness of it, plus it's good for your liver. So I am headed to Walmart, and I think, I forgot about that. Look, I burned myself with my curling iron. I got it really good, and it was at the very end of my curling session, and I was really regretting the last curl. Oh my goodness. I am going to go to Walmart after I clean up my dirty kitchen. I will let you guys see what I buy in preparation for a week. Updated version. Okay, I'll see you in a little while. Dang, it is so cold outside. It is so windy. That was miserable. I'm gonna have to keep my vest on for a while until I can warm up. I thought I would share with you what I've been putting in my green juice lately. I have my cilantro that I'm not real happy with, but it is what it is. I got cilantro, kale, and parsley in my strainer here. I washed it really well. And then lemon. I always, like I said, I have to have lemon in my green juice. It just is not the same without it. And then I am doing apple today. Sometimes I do kiwi. Today I'm doing apple because I had this one cut up in my refrigerator and I want to use it before it goes bad. And I've just really been trying to use a very small amount. I used to use a whole apple, then I was down to a half, and today it's kind of like between a quarter and a half. But I've been doing mainly just a quarter. Just because I feel like the longer I do this, the less I want it to be sweet. I just really enjoying the combination of the lemon and then the ginger, a decent amount of ginger. Normally I would do more, but I want to stretch what I have to the end of the week because I forgot to get some at the store. Jalapeno, this is a must for me too now. I just enjoy the lemon, the jalapeno, and the ginger together, it's killer. Cucumber, they were both small, so I did 2. If you've got one really big one, that will do, but that's really where a lot of the juice comes from. If you really want a large green juice, cucumber and celery will take you there. And then for anti-inflammatory properties, I threw in some turmeric. And if you can't find fresh turmeric, it's okay. What I would do is I would sprinkle or put like a half a teaspoon, a quarter of a teaspoon, whatever you can handle of the powder and the juice after, and just shake it up or put it in your blender and blend it up if that makes it taste better to you. But I really can't taste the turmeric in it. I mean, it's very mild, I think. I mean, but I have been drinking this for a long time. So if you drink it with like this much and you're like, oh, I just, all I taste is turmeric, just decrease the amount, and then slowly over time you may be able to add more of this. And turmeric is so good for you. There's so many health benefits to turmeric, so I highly recommend at least giving it a try and just doing as much as you can tolerate. Okay, we are blending. And if any of you have never juiced before and you say you're getting a new juicer, this Nama J2 is great, but you do really kind of have to pay attention to how you put your ingredients in. You want your leafy greens to go in first because you need the heavier fruits and vegetables to push that stuff through. I usually do mine in batches, so if you look over here, like I put half of my greens in, I put half of my cucumber, a piece of my apple, a piece of my ginger, and I'm just gonna let this do its thing for a little bit, and then I'm gonna add the rest, and then I finish everything with the celery because the celery is so fibrous that it helps to get all of the greens and the leftover stuff that kind of wants to come up to the top. I use it and I scrape everything down, and that way I get everything in my juice and out of the juicer. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what I mean. See how that stuff up here just kind of, it pushes up and that kind of gets wrapped around the blade. So if you really want to help that, you could cut the stems off, but I just feel like there's so much nutrition in the stems, so I hate to just get rid of them. You know, it's wasteful. What I do is I take my celery in batches, and then I take one of the sticks, find a skinny one, and get into those nooks and crannies. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. Get in there and push that stuff back down so it goes all the way down the juicer, okay? And then I'll probably have to do that again with a little bit of celery that I have left, but you get the idea. It just helps to get that all cleaned out, and we spend all this money on these amazing ingredients and we want to get all of that into us. Okay, so green juice is done. It is very, very green. And I'm just gonna pour myself a cup. So you can see I still have a lot left, but I'm gonna sip on this. I am going to make it's good. I feel like every time I make green juice, it never comes out exactly the same because your apples aren't gonna always be as sweet. Your jalapenos aren't always gonna be as hot, and this really is very mild. Like normally it's very spicy, which I love, and this isn't. And I wish there was more ginger in here. So tomorrow I will be adding more, and then I'll just have to go to the store to get more before the end of the week, which kind of stinks, but it's worth it. And that's the thing, you have to decide when you live a plant-based lifestyle, a healthy plant-based lifestyle, it's a lot of work, but you gotta decide if you're worth it. I think you're worth it. I know I'm worth it. So let's just all do it together and stop complaining, because ultimately our lives are better. And what else would we be doing? I mean, I know that there are people that have a lot busier lives than me, but what else could you be doing? You know, or just plain better than me. I'm not a person that looks super hard in the refrigerator before I go to the grocery store, which is bad planning. So it can be easier if you're a better planner, and it won't be hard to be a better planner than me. I am going to have a little chat with you guys about what I've been doing lately, okay? But while we do that, I'm gonna cut up some mushrooms because my plan tonight is to have a raw vegan lasagna. And when I make my raw vegan lasagna, I like to marinate my mushrooms. So I have a couple zucchini here. It would be better if I had 3, but my other one was kind of wimpy looking. So I will not get to have 3, I'll only have 2, but that's okay. I'll eat more mushrooms. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay guys, the last month or so, I have felt kind of off track in some ways, but then on track in others. I'm a person that I compare to what I used to be. And when I compare it to where I was, we'll say like a year ago, I'm doing really good around the holidays. I'm eating raw vegetables every day. I am making sure to get a green juice in daily and a smoothie in daily. So a lot of times before that, I would just eat, I would say just kind of like snacky stuff. Working the hours that I have to work around this time of year. I'm a hairstylist, so everyone is wanting to get in. I have a lot more clients that don't rebook their appointments, that call in, that want in last minute, and then I feel this need to get everybody in, to look good for the holidays. A lot of people see their family, friends, they get pictures, all of those things. So it's just a busier time for me. And so I would be one to maybe not be planning ahead, and I might eat, I don't know, like maybe crackers for lunch, maybe cereal, just things like that. Not things that are terrible for you, maybe oatmeal. Again, not things that what a lot of people would think would be bad, but where I am and the level that I'm at now, I'm really trying to focus on eating a more nutrient-dense diet, and everything that I consume to have a lot of things that will help me heal my thyroid. And oatmeal is really not one of those things, right? Crackers, definitely not. But I would maybe have like, tofu scramble or tofu skillet, kind of more just trying to have a more, what a lot of people would call like a balanced meal, where you have your protein, your carbs, your fat. And so I feel like I'm doing good in that way. But compared to what I was doing before I went on vacation back in November, I feel like I've kind of backslid a little bit. So when I went to California, we were with family and we were on a company trip, and it was really easy to go down to the breakfast area and get a coffee. So I've kind of been drinking more coffee than what I would care to, but I know it's good for me, and really no coffee is good for you. And I know they say there are antioxidants in coffee, and that's fine, but for me, I really am trying to heal my adrenals, and coffee is not good for your adrenals. Coffee is super dehydrating. It shows up in your skin. I definitely can tell my skin is not looking as good as it did back in the summer or right before I went. I was just doing so good. And I feel like that happens to a lot of people, not necessarily just around the holidays, but if you have kind of an addictive personality and you almost need to completely get rid of that stuff, then if you have at one time, it's really hard. It's like you're starting back over completely, and it stinks. I hate it. So this week, my goal is to not have any coffee at all, because at the beginning of the year, I am really wanting to go on a juice cleanse, and I don't want to be struggling. It's going to be hard enough the first few days, and if I am used to having coffee, it's going to be that much harder to get off of it, to get through the juice cleanse the first few days, which everyone says those are the hardest 3 days because your body tends to be a little more hungry. So I'm thinking, do I really want to add that to like my detox symptoms, like being extra tired and cranky and all those things? No, I really don't. So I would really like to quit drinking coffee from now until the beginning of my juice cleanse. I am not going to start on January 1st with my juice cleanse. I am going to start January 1st going 100% completely raw, fruit focused, no fats, really no crazy amounts of protein. So I'm not gonna be having any soaked sprouted legumes. I'm not gonna be having any nuts. I'm not gonna be having any seeds, I guess. I mean, those are the main 3 ways you get your protein on a raw vegan diet. Okay, let me show you what I do. So I add some tamari. Okay, add not a ton, just a little. And then I will add in some olive oil. The olive oil that I really like is called biryani. It's like a stone crushed. So it's cold pressed, cold extracted, unfiltered, but it just tastes so dang good. So like a tablespoon maybe, and you saw how big this bowl is. It's huge, and it's almost full of mushrooms. And then I just kind of give it a stir, and I'm just gonna let this sit for, actually I'm gonna add some garlic powder, hold on. So I like a lot. And then I'm just gonna let this sit, probably right now it's like 10. So I'm probably gonna let this sit till about 1. And then I'm going to put it on a dehydrator sheet and let these dehydrate for about, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or so. And then I'll put together my lasagna so you guys can see it. And these are so good. Jordan, he loves these. So usually I make a ton, way more than what I will. I mean, I could eat them all. It'd be pretty easy, but I'll share. It's the holidays. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my zucchini. And since I'm making lasagna and not a pasta, I am going to slice this very thin. So these are organic zucchini, so I'm not peeling them. And I don't know if you can see, it's very thin. Back to what I was talking about. I'm going to start with that, with the fruit only and vegetable only. I am going to be doing green juices. I am going to be doing, like I love to snack on cucumbers and carrots and things like that. So I will definitely be eating veggies too. I won't be doing salads, because like I said, I can't do salads without fattening dressing, or at least some fat on it. But I will be making like some raw soups, like throwing some spinach and maybe like arugula, and then I have some spices that I can spice it up, that I can at least get in more greens that way, and it's not just a green juice and that's it. You know, and the rest of the day is fruit. So that's my goal. The first week will be that, and then I am going to start my juice cleanse. And I don't know how long I'm gonna go. I'm not really sure. This group that I'm in, a lot of people do 40 days. I don't know if I'm going to commit to that. I don't know if I feel that that is necessary, because with my colonics that I've been doing, I do feel like that helps to get rid of the mucoid plaque. And I have another one of those coming up the first Friday in January. I am going to be doing that again, and I just feel like that will help get rid of all that stuff. And I'm gonna really try to go 100% raw for 3 months, so 90 days, 100% not cheating. Henry, no barking, bud. Thank you. So that's my goal, 90 days, and then I'm going to evaluate it, because I do feel like as we push ourselves, we see that we can do hard things, and that once I get to the 90 days, I may not want to quit. I think that happens with a lot of people. It's just like people that go plant-based or vegan. Now for me, it was a light switch. I started and I never went back, and I never planned on going back. But I think a lot of people say, oh, I'm gonna do this vegan thing for a week. I'm gonna do it for 2 weeks. I'm gonna do it for 3 weeks. I'm gonna do it for 4 weeks, whatever their goal is. And then they get there and they realize it's really not that bad, and you're on a roll, so why quit? And then 2 months turns into 3, and 3 to 6, and 6 to a year, and before you know it, you're you're a plant-based person, like, you don't plan on going back. So that's my hope. But my whole problem with raw food diet is it's really hard to sustain a low-fat version of that, because after a while, I feel like my body is craving more than just raw fruits and veggies. I feel like it needs some fat, it needs some protein, it needs those things, and I just don't think I could commit to doing that for a whole year. With me right now, I've really been doing a lot of more medical medium style, because I feel better. When I do a raw diet, I don't sleep as well. I feel like I sweat at night. Whenever I eat medical medium style, which is pretty much fat-free, all day it's fat-free, and then in the evening it's like some steamed veggies, maybe steamed potatoes, sweet potatoes, and I can eat that stuff without putting loads of fat on it. I might add a little dollop of cashew sour cream, but I'm not like putting dressing on my salad with nuts and then avocado and all those things. And I could maybe get used to eating a salad without as much fat, but I would still need more than what I would need on a baked potato or steamed potato. And I can eat steamed vegetables with just a sprinkle of salt and a little bit of lemon juice, and I'm good. Like maybe a drizzle of tahini if I don't do cashew sour cream. And I feel better, I sleep better. I feel like I sleep a lot more soundly. I'm not as restless throughout the night, because even when I just do all fruit and vegetables and no fat, I feel like it's harder for me to go to sleep, and it's harder for me to stay asleep all night. And I don't know if that's healthy, you know? I feel like you gotta do some trial and error to figure out if that works for you. And maybe it does, maybe it works for you. It's not working for me right now. But I am willing to commit to a low-fat raw diet, raw vegan diet for 90 days. And so that's my plan. I wanted to get one more video in before we started the new year, and I hope that you guys really have a great end to your 23, and I am so looking forward to putting in more time with my videos and my workouts, videotaping some of those, and getting back into the gym, because I am gonna start the gym. I don't know if I'm gonna start it in January because I don't know how I feel with my juice cleanse, but as soon as my juice cleanse is over, I will start back lifting weights. So right now, just walking, getting my walks in every day, and my Tracy Anderson, which if you guys haven't seen that, I will link it in the description box. Okay, so my zucchini is all cut up, and I just want to show you guys, I just put it on a dehydrator sheet like this, and I am going to put this in the dehydrator for probably like an hour, and I'll check it and see. The zucchini lets off a lot of water, and by putting these in the dehydrator, it's going to get rid of some of that, and it's going to soften the zucchini quite a bit, which I personally enjoy that. I don't enjoy when my zucchini noodles or lasagna pieces are hard and kind of cold. Like I don't think that tastes like pasta. So I feel like it needs to go in the dehydrator to soften it, to make it more of like a noodle sort of texture. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how I put together my lasagna, what I put in my sauce, and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, I'll be back. So the dehydrator is still going. You can see my mushrooms. I've had them in for, it's probably been like maybe 3 hours, and they're definitely done, I would say. They're kind of starting to get a little dried out. So I'm gonna take these out, and then the zucchini, they're feeling very soft, so I'm liking that. I am going to take these out too, and then I will show you how I assemble my lasagna. Okay, I'm gonna put the lasagna together, And I thought I would make the sauce so you guys could see what all goes in it. I start with tomatoes, and I usually have a full tub and I make a bunch, and then I'll have it for a couple nights if I'm gonna make this twice in a week, because sometimes I do if I buy all the ingredients and I have it and I don't want my stuff to go bad, so I'll make it a couple nights during the week. But I only have half of a thing of tomatoes, so I'm just gonna do kind of like a half portion and it'll just be enough for today. So I'm gonna throw those in my blender. I do have a Vitamix. I'm sure another blender would work just fine though for this, because it's not like we're trying to blend up greens. If you have greens, Vitamix is kind of a must, but if you don't have greens, a regular blender should work fine. So next is gonna be onion. I love onion, and so I'm gonna put like a small handful of onion. I love red onion, it's what I always have on hand, so that's what I use. Then I'm going to add some nutritional yeast. I'm gonna throw a little of that in there, maybe like a tablespoon. And then of course I'm gonna add some spices, some garlic powder, a couple teaspoons of that, and like a teaspoon of onion powder. And this is all, you guys, you just, whatever you like, you throw in there. If you don't like onion powder, don't put onion powder in, or add less. And then I'm going to add some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm gonna kind of eyeball it. These are soaked in olive oil. That's gonna kind of be sort of like your fat, which is yummy. And then salt, pepper, and I did make homemade almond milk. I'm gonna put a little of that in there because I think it adds just like a touch of creaminess. And then some salt. And I like my stuff spicy, as you know, from my jalapeno and my green juice. I'm gonna put a dash of red pepper flakes. I'm just gonna blend it all up and I will be right back. Now for the taste test. I'm just gonna use this squirt. Ooh, it's really good. It is yummy and it's pretty thick, okay? I don't know if you can tell that, but it's pretty thick stuff. But the thing is when you're working with fresh fruits and vegetables of water content, they have tons of water content. So you don't really need to add extra water to your blender. And when you warm this up, with the mushrooms and the zucchini, I mean, this is gonna be about the consistency that I like personally. And now we're just gonna layer the lasagna. I'm gonna start with a little bit of sauce on the bottom. And I use like a dish like about like this, okay? And you just kinda, just like a regular lasagna, you just layer it. So a little sauce on the bottom, and then I'm gonna do some zucchini, and this probably is only gonna make like one layer of zucchini, or maybe two, I'm sorry. Yeah, it should do two. All right, so I got my zucchini, and then I made some homemade pesto, and this is just kale, basil, garlic, nutritional yeast, pine nuts, and salt. So I'm gonna dollop a little of that on here. And this is what makes it fire, the pesto. The pesto is where all this yummy, amazing flavor lies. At least my taste buds say so. And I'm gonna add some mushrooms. Okay, so the mushrooms are nice and watery. They were dry, but because I turned off the dehydrator and I actually let these set in there for a little bit, they've kind of gotten moist again. So that's actually good. We don't want dry mushrooms. And they taste amazing. I tasted them already. I had no doubt. I've made these plenty of times. Okay, so you can see I got the first two layers. Now I'm gonna add more sauce. Gotta save some sauce for the top. Spread all that back around. Then just gonna do it all over again. So zucchini, whatever you have left. I don't have very much left. But yeah, so 3 would have been great because then we could have done 3 layers of zucchini, but that's okay. Use the mushrooms. Oh, I forgot the basil. And that's no good. So another light layer of the basil pesto. And Jordan loves this on his pasta. He usually makes like a protein pasta, the stuff that's made out of lentils. It's like gluten-free and it's really good. So if you're not 100% raw and you're looking to try a new pasta that is way healthier for you than just like a basic white pasta or like gluten-free, like the rice pasta is okay, the corn pasta, I don't really care for that. It's really chewy. But the lentil pasta, and I'll grab the box so you can see it. Yeah, it's made out of like vegetables too. So this is what I have left of the mushrooms. So you can see they really shrink up. So when I make them, I usually make a ton because they really, after they dehydrate, there's not really a whole lot left. So these will be safe for Jordan and he can put these in his pasta tonight. And then we will top it with the rest of the sauce. It's about 4:30 right now, and I don't like to eat late, but I'm not gonna be able to eat this super early, so I'm gonna put this back in the dehydrator, probably till like 6, so an hour and a half, and that will make it nice and warm, and then it will allow all these flavors to sort of melt together, and that's what makes it really good, and it makes it like more legit, because like I said, I have a hard time eating cold things that are supposed to emulate hot things. Like I'm not a cold soup person with gazpacho. I like what I like, and if I don't like it, I'm not gonna eat it. And I've tried so many times to make just like zucchini noodles and then just throw sauce and stuff on them. And I know it's probably better if you really sit there and use your hands and really get in there and make sure that the noodles are really coated with the sauce, but it's still like kind of cold, and then the noodles are still kind of hard. And I don't like al dente pasta either. Okay. And then I'm not gonna put any more pesto because that really, I promise you, is plenty for me. I'm eating it, so. Okay, and then I'm just gonna top it with a little bit more nutritional yeast. Just like a little sprinkle. Just kind of cover the top of it. And voila, okay? I'm gonna put this back in the dehydrator, and then when it is done and warm, I will show you what it looks like. All right, see you in a bit. It has been about an hour and a half. It's a little after 6, and I thought I would show you guys what this is looking like. So it looks really good, but unfortunately, it's a little cold. So I think I'm gonna go with the plan B. I hate this, but that's just the facts of life. So, plan B. This just is how life is sometimes, right? Like, you can't plan this stuff, and I'm not gonna wait till 8 o'clock for that to be warm. So I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna stick it in the dehydrator, and that will be my dinner tomorrow. So tonight, I probably am just gonna have a smoothie. I had a smoothie for lunch, but I'm probably just gonna do that again because it's getting late and I don't feel like spending the time to make anything. And I've just had one of those days. I'm tired. I am definitely feeling the fact that I had no coffee today. And I just wanna get on the couch and get under a blanket and watch YouTube or work on some stuff for my website that I am getting ready to launch. So that's my plan for tonight. I'm gonna enjoy a smoothie, and I will extend the video so that I can do a taste test for you tomorrow night at dinner. Okay guys, see you then. I'm back. It's Tuesday. It's at lunchtime because I just could not wait for the lasagna, and I put it in this morning at 4 when I got up to go walk at the gym. So it's nice and warm, and I wanted to go ahead and do the taste test because I'm going to eat it for lunch. All right, so you can see it's really like, you can see more of the mushrooms because that sauce kind of sinks down into the noodles, zucchini noodles. And it's nice and soft at this point, guys. So it's gonna taste way more like lasagna than if you didn't dehydrate it. And it still has a lot of water content. It's not dry at all. So it's, you know, is it as good for you as maybe completely raw without going in the dehydrator? Probably not. Probably when you lose water content, your body has to work a little bit harder to digest it, and that's fine. But I'm not gonna eat it like that. So this is the next best thing. It's so good. You guys 100% have to try this. If you don't have a dehydrator and you've been raw for a while, you might think about investing in one because it's that good. And if you don't like raw zucchini noodles or sweet potato noodles, this is a good way to get it in because it does make it taste way more legit. So, like I said, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your year. I look forward to seeing you next year. So, see you then. Happy holidays.